Neil, you mentioned on Saturday that the team were a bit flat, etc. Do you feel that that's now out of their system and go all guns blazing again?
Well, I hope so, yeah. They did look a little bit leggy over the course of the 90 minutes. Weren't really in that much difficulty, but going forward, we lacked a little bit of sharpness and urgency in the final third. But as you've seen this week, Aberdeen are a decent side, defensively well set up, and it can be a tough nut to crack. So we take the point and move on.
What do you do in terms of trying to combat the mental and physical fatigue at this stage of the season? Is it give them some time off? Or?
Yeah, just give them some time off, and then we had a good day, a couple of good days training this week, and then obviously taper it again, going into the game on Sunday. So we've had a little chat with them, looked at some things that we could do a little bit better, and hopefully, we'll see more of the Celtic team that we know come Sunday.
Given the opposition as well and their predicament, is it a game that's a good game to have after the Aberdeen one?
Well, it's a game that we will be going out to win, and just ticking off another game. But what I'm looking for is an intensity to our play and a bit more aggression in the final third. Defensively we've been excellent since the turn of the year, so I'm looking for more pace and more aggression in the way we play.
How beneficial is it the fact that you've got the experience now of ticking off the games from your previous spell here, and the players do over the last few years, when you get to the stage of the season with the lead you have?
I think it's always important to have that experience. They're in that sort of game routine, that game rhythm. They understand the timing now of the season. We're coming into the spring, summer months, and that's when they smell out the trophies. They've been there and done it before. There's good experience in the squad who can help get us over the line. But more importantly, not only am I looking for the win, but a performance to match that as well. And we'll try to reinforce that again this week.
Just on that issue about giving the guys a break, is it obviously you want to get over the line sooner rather than later, also with a view in mind that you're going to have a congested fixture calendar come pre-season, so maybe give them a break during the season at the end?
We've done that before in my time here, Raman, with international players who basically they play non-stop football. And you have to remember these guys have been playing in every competition, whether it be European, every domestic competition over the last 2 years. They've got the finals, they've won the leagues. So you're looking at 50 plus to 60 games a season, with then internationals maybe in the summer, and very relative little time off, in the close season. So it's important that, when you see signs of fatigue, or both physically and mentally, it's important to let them get away for a couple of days and come back refreshed.
Do you have any update on any of the lads that are out of contract, like Michael Lustig?
Not currently, no. Not currently. Obviously, he's a player that I know well, and he's been a huge player for this club for a long, long time. So talks are ongoing, but I've nothing to confirm yet on any of them, really.
I appreciate this might be a wee bit tricky to answer.
Really?
If Lee Congreton were to decide to move on, John Park has been linked with a return here. Given what he's done in the past while you were here, that'd be welcomed by you.
It's a hypothetical question, and I can't answer that because Lee is here. And I'm working with Lee, and it's business as usual. I know there's a lot of speculation surrounding Lee, but like I said, we had a meeting, a week 10 days ago, and he was full on. So it's a case of maybe watching this space. If he does move on, then I'm sure there'll be a lot of candidates the club have in mind to take over if he does move on.
This might be a bit more straightforward to answer.
Right.
Scott Bain, given Alan McGregor's decision during the week, is that a real incentive for him now to be number one for club and country?
Yes. Well, I think he probably will be number one for Scotland. I'm not sort of telling Big Eck how to do his job, but he's been in superb form. I know him very well. I had him at Hibs for a brief time, so I'm a big fan of his. But the improvement in him since he's come here has been huge. He's really filled into the jersey, and he's been exceptionally good. So delighted if he does get the call up, and well, he has. But delighted if he is in number one. I'm sure he won't let anybody down. And
he's had to bide his time, hasn't he, to get that club move and now potentially the international gig?
Well, it's been meteoric, the last year or so for him, and there's nice composure about him. He's got good hands, good agility, and he's certainly playing very well for me at the minute.
Must be promising that he's one of just a few players that are in the Scotland squad as well for yourself.
Pardon?
It must be promising that he's one of a few Celtic players that are in that Scotland squad.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's been a good volume of Celtic players, over the last couple of years who have contributed massively to, Scotland's position. Jamesy's had a huge impact. Callum McGregor, Kieran. Obviously, Bernie's not there anymore, but still really happy for them to go and play.
Can I ask you about Callum McGregor? Obviously, he's not played in the last few weeks and he's in the Scotland squad. Where's he at the moment in terms
He's back in training, so he's in contention for Sunday.
So you've got no issues, even though he's not been playing the past few weeks, him being in the Scotland squad, happy for him to get game time?
Yeah, it would probably benefit him, yeah. Obviously with the Rangers game coming up after the break. But he may figure on Sunday in some capacity, so it's great to have him back.
Would you be concerned about him on the artificial surface when they go to Kazakhstan?
No. I mean, that'll be gauged by the medical team there. The players know their own bodies, and obviously it's not ideal, but some of these international services are okay, Roddy, so it's not a major issue for me.
What's Craig Gordon's injury?
He's just got a bit of knee problem. He had an injection on it and it's sort of not really settled. So again, he's going to be assessed by a specialist over the next couple of days, and hopefully we can come to some sort of impasse where he may need another injection just to settle everything down and get him back to training and playing. It's just been a little bit of overuse for him. When he's been playing, he's been able to rest, but the fact that he hasn't been playing, he's been training a lot more, and it's just flared up an old problem for him.
Is Ncham on his way back?
Yeah, he's out on the grass. Yeah, he's had a good week's training. Bankovic, is back in training as well. So nice to see some bodies coming back at last.
Rogic?
He's still a bit off. He's not out on the grass just yet.
Check. The old firm get the Rangers game come too quickly for them, check.
No, hoping. We got another 2 weeks before that happens, so we're hoping. Maybe the middle of next week, and we get 10 days in there before the Rangers game should be suffice. So hopefully we'll see him at Rangers as well.
Ryan Christie?
Ryan will be a bit longer. It's a hamstring injury, so that'll take a bit longer.
Refereeing never far from the headlines. Neil, Paul Heckingbottom today talking about how he thought it was foolish of Stephen McLean to call up Stephen Gerrard to apologise for the decision. But what's your thoughts on referees doing that sort of thing?
I wouldn't minded a couple of calls over the years, Jonathan, to tell you the truth. It's normally the other way around, where we're ringing up John Fleming. It's not unprecedented. I think it's happened before, but I can understand Paul's displeasure at it. And normally we get a steer from John on that, and it's very rare you get a referee actually ringing a manager up and explaining the situation. I can understand Steve's frustration at it because it did look a foul at the time, but in terms of referees ringing up managers personally, it's unheard of, really.
Would you welcome a bit more interaction with the referees on that sort of basis?
I'll be getting one every weekend, and look, I suppose when you don't get a chance to speak to them after the game, sometimes it can help, but by that time it's gone. The situation's gone, and normally John heads that up and nips it in the bud one way or the other for you.
Can you not go in after a game?
Sometimes you can, yeah, but sometimes it's a bit futile and you're just better off just leaving it.
Can I ask you about Virgil van Dijk as well?
You can, yeah.
How good a player is he?
He's brilliant. How good is he? Probably the best centre half in the world. You could walk into any team and you've seen how good he is again, not only defensively but a real threat in the opposition box, and he just has it all, really. He's got pace, composure, physicality, technically brilliant. So for me, I'm just so surprised that none of the real mega clubs didn't come and take him before Liverpool did, but Liverpool have done the right thing, and he has made a huge difference to Liverpool this season defensively. They're up there challenging for the Premier League and got a good draw, you have to say, in the quarter-finals, so there'll be eyes on the big prize, and I think his introduction has been huge for Liverpool.
Did you always think when you had him here, when you signed him, that he was going to have this meteoric rise?
Huge potential, or huge attributes. Yeah, I mean, I thought he would be a top player, but you know, he's made that sort of progress very, very quickly, and I'm surprised that no bigger club than Southampton didn't take him from here in the first place. And I'm sure they're all kicking their heels. Sometimes they look at the Scottish game and think, you know, well, if he's cruising there, but can he do it in England? Virgil had all the qualities to do that already. And then you've got Andy Robertson as well, who, you know, 4 or 5 years ago was playing his trade up here as well. He's been outstanding as well.
Where does Virgil rank in terms of the signings you made at Celtic first time around, given his
one of the best, you know. Value for money, quality, you know, a brilliant bit of business by the club. You know, and you can add Wanyama to that, and Hoopers and Fosters and that. We did alright. But he's gone on. Wanyama's having a good career, but Virgil's meteoric now, so he's right up there.
Does that make it tougher now for teams like Celtic to try and unearth the gems?
I don't think so. You know, the club brought in Dembele. You know, he's playing really high level now for Lyon. Well, he's playing high level for Celtic. I think Dembele's a superb player. You know, he's been here for a couple of years, so we've got a few in that dressing room who can kick on as well, you know, if they want to. So I think there's always an opportunity for us to find more players like that.
How good a job did John Park do in this time?
Did alright. He didn't do bad, he did alright.
One other thing, just SPFL having a board meeting on Monday about with the SFA trying to work out ways of dealing with this kind of rising hooligan behaviour, for want of a better expression. What do you?
I don't know, Jonathan. I don't know. Do you go strict liability? Then you're punishing the clubs for individual actions, and sometimes there could be rogue supporters in the crowd who want to give the club a bad name. So I think that's such a grey area, strict liability, and I don't know if it's going to more policing, more stewarding. I don't know. It's just been a really increasing negative underbelly among the support up here, and now we're seeing it in England as well, which is, you know, very disconcerting to say the least.
Whatever happens, is it important that whatever the football authorities do, they do it in conjunction with government and police, work together? In that
Yes.
sense?
Yeah, I think the government, certainly the police, have to have a huge say as well. I mean, the guy there who attacked Jack Grealish got 14 weeks. I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough of a deterrent. You know, 3 months, he'd be out in maybe 6 or 7 weeks. So I think the custodial sentence should have been a lot longer. And there's your deterrent right there. Stop people from doing it. Banning them from grounds, is that enough? Is that going to hurt them enough? Custodial sentence for me. And a longer one.